Hello friends, I am Roshni Jaiswal and today is my first video on the YouTube channel. In this video we are going to see what is Spring Boot and why we need it. So you can see the content here. We will start with why should we use the Spring Boot. Spring Boot is used for the creating the standalone Spring application. In previous application, what we were doing, we were creating the Spring application by using the Maven, and we were configuring the server externally. So by using Spring Boot, you will get the embedded Tomcat, as well as Spring Boot is providing the starter dependencies. So all the dependencies are combined into one single starter. So you don't need to worry about the different version management or the version compatibility issues. So and the Spring Boot also removes the XML configuration. You don't need to do any configuration using the XML. Okay, so now we will see the what is Spring Boot. Here is the official definition of the Spring Boot, and the advantage of the Spring Boot is that you don't need to do any configuration, or the very minimal configuration is required to run the application. See that the prerequisite of the Spring Boot, the Java 1.8 is the minimum version required for the Spring Boot application. You can use the later version also. Maven or the Gradle, any build tool you can use. As well, after that you will need the one IDE to edit the code or to write your code. You can use Eclipse, Spring Tool Suite, or the IntelliJ IDE. Then we will see how to create the Spring Boot application. There are different ways of the creating Spring Boot application. First is the Spring Initializer. Spring Initializer is the web-based tool. Using that we can create the Spring Boot application. Another is the Spring Boot CLI, which is the command line interface. By using that also you can create the Spring Boot application. Third one is the creating Spring Boot project by using the STS. So we will see in here how to create the project and the configuration, how to do the configuration in the Spring Boot application. So let's go to the Chrome, and you can search here for the Spring Initializer. Now click on the first link, Spring Initializer. Here you have to mention the some basic configuration by using which you have to create the project. I have to create the project by using the Maven. You can use Gradle as well. The language which I am using here Java. You can use any other language as well to create the Spring Boot application. Here they have given the Spring Boot version. Then project metadata. This is the very important part which defines the project name and the package name. So artifact is the project name. Here I will give as the Spring Boot demo application. Okay. So here Spring Boot demo application will get created, and the package name is the com.example. Group name is the com.example, and the package name will be com.example.springboot demo application. So packaging will be jar. You can select any packaging, jar or var. You can change it later also in the pom.xml file. The Java version is the minimum Java version required is the Java 8. You can select 11 or 13 as well. Dependencies you can search here. For the Spring Web MVC you can use the Spring Web starter. Different dependencies or the different starters are provided by the Spring Boot application. You can see here for JPA, Spring Data JPA is provided. For Spring Security, they have provided the Spring Security, OAuth 2, Open Service Broker, Okta, Spring Session. Different dependency starters are provided by the Spring Boot. So as of now we will use the Spring Web. Now click on the generate project. you can see here the project is downloaded, and the project is not yet downloaded, so it is showing the unconfirmed file. Let's open it again. Now you can see I will copy it from here to my working directory. I will create one folder, project, and here I will paste it. Okay, now I need to extract it here. I will right click and then extract to Spring Boot demo application. It will get extracted here. Now I will go to the Spring Tool Suite. Let me tell you how to download the Spring Tool Suite. Spring Tool Suite, you can click here. You can search for the Spring Tool Suite. You can search for the Spring Tool Suite, and from here you can download the IDE and download the zip file. If you are a Mac user, then you can click here and download the DMG file, and if you are a Linux user, then you have to download the tar.gz file. I have downloaded it on my machine. You can see here software Java Spring Tool Suite STS bundle, and in this STS, this is the application. Double click on this and you will get the Spring Tool Suite ID. Now these are the some basic example. So I will close this. Let's import the Spring Boot application. In our ID, click on the import existing Maven project, because this is our Maven project, and click on the existing Maven project. Then click on next. Click on the browse button. Then go to our project folder, select the project which we have created from the Spring Initializer web tool. Click on the Spring Boot demo application, select folder, click on the finish. Now project is getting imported, workspace is building. Here we have got our application. You can see pom.xml. In the pom.xml, the group ID which we have given, you will get the group ID com.example. Okay, then artifact ID is the project name, then version by default 0.0.1, and the parent project is given there, which is the Spring Boot starter parent. This is the starter, and which gives us all the basic dependencies required for the project, like Spring Core, Spring AOP, Spring Web, JUnit. Also Maven plugin is also there, which we had selected while creating the project. After that, you can see in the RC main Java folder, you can see the Spring Boot demo application.java. This is the project starting point. So this file bootstraps the project and run the application on the Tomcat server. So Spring Boot application annotation is used to enable the auto configuration in our application, as well as it provides the component scan as well. Also it provides the Spring configuration, so automatically all the configuration and all the scanning will be done by the Spring Boot application annotation. Then Spring application class bootstraps the application class bootstraps the application and run it on the server. So let's run this on the server. First of all, I will show you where is the Tomcat. These are the Maven dependencies, and the embedded Tomcat is here. No need to install Tomcat externally or configure it externally. It is embedded in the Spring Boot application. Now right click on the project and run as. Click on run as and click on the Spring Boot app. You can see here your project is getting started. So Tomcat is started on the port number 8080. We will check whether it is started or not. Localhost 8080. If I will hit there, see, you have got the error page from the server. It means that your server has been started, and now we have not given any page, so we got the error page. And one more thing is there, if you want, you can change the port number as well. So if you want to do any configuration, then you can do in the application.properties file. Open the application.properties file. For to change the server port number, you have to write the property. You will get the suggestion as well in this properties file. No need to remember anything. So server.port, and if I want 8085, then write it there. Save everything and restart the server. So server is started on the 8085 port. Here you can see Tomcat started on the 8085 port. Now if I will hit the 8080, then I will not get any page or anything, because I have changed the port number to 8085. Now I will write the 8085 and hit the URL. Now I will get the URL error page. So in this video we have learned how to create the Spring Boot application, what is Spring Boot, why Spring Boot is required, how to configure the properties in the application.properties file. So I hope you understand this video. Thank you. So in this video we have learned how to create the Spring Boot application, why Spring Boot is required, and what is mean by Spring Boot, and how to configure the application.properties for other configuration as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share this channel.